Hey, we're back, and today we're going to talk about why your ceiling leaks when it's not even raining out. But before we do that, make sure you dingle on the bell, click on that subscribe button, and of course, leave us a comment below because we like hearing from you. Kind of give us an idea of what you think about it. So, what things that are going on that we're discussing, you got a comment? Doodle it, we'll leap it down on the bottom down there somewhere. So, with that, this is an interesting project that you ran into, and it has to do with
It's the simple things with thermodynamics and basic building science. How many times have we talked about when you look at a house, you have to look at the two balloons. You have a thermal envelope
yeah,
and a pressure envelope, right?
right.
And we try to convince people to look at this like a balloon. If you have a balloon, your pressure envelope, or a balloon, your thermal envelope, and you put a hole in your balloon, what happens to your balloon?
It deflates.
It deflates, or worse, it pops.
Right.
This house, less than 2 years old, valued at over $6 million. I've had to do so much damage to this house to fix what was done. And we're not talking about a hole in the balloon. We're talking half the balloon is missing.
Wow. Wow. So you did a video for this, right?
Yeah. So right before we show the video, the house behind me
Yes.
is not the house,
Okay.
but it's similar.
Okay.
So it's going to be hard in the videos because I'm up in attics trying to video stuff, right? So you're going to have to use some visualization.
Right.
But look at the house behind me. It's a two-story, right?
Correct.
But not on each end.
Correct. Yeah. It's
One story.
right here, single story. Over here, single story.
Right. So those two attics are below the floor structure of the second floor.
Right in here. Yeah.
So what they did on this particular house is it's done the exact same way as this. Those attics at both ends were not cut off from that floor structure running from one side of the house to the other.
Okay.
They did the same thing. Truss joists, framed the lower ceilings to make details, which left a plenum ceiling from one side of the house to the other, which just allowed the air. And we live in a hot, humid climate. So
Uh-huh.
you can imagine it, 90% humidity and the AC cranking away, trying to get the house to 72 degrees, the amount of condensation
Oh, wow.
between
Yeah.
the second floor and the first floor ceiling in that plenum ceiling. The ductwork was dripping water. This insulation around the ductwork was saturated. I had no choice but to cut the ceilings out, to get access, rip out
Right.
all the ductwork, dry it all, replace the ductwork, and then air seal everything with spray foam. And that's what the video is.
Okay.
So sit back for about 5 minutes here, watch this video. And I'm in an attic. Sorry, I'm not a little guy. All
uh,
right.
so I'll do the share right here.
Yep.
The attic,
Oh, there you go.
over the garage, over the laundry room,
Nice soffit vents, right?
office,
Oh, man.
dryer vent, no air sealing around the top plate. All the insulation, you can see the floor box sitting on the concrete, and then the concrete ends, floor box floats. And some areas have some insulation, majority have no insulation. The bottom of the second floor truss joists are wide open. And there's the roof vent for the top of it. So the air is just blowing from this side of the house over to the master side. Again, the plenum ceiling over the master bath, over the bath itself. And as I see the light you see shining through, That is the attic over the master bedroom. All the outside air from the soffit vents and or roof vent are going right into this ceiling. Nothing's been closed off. This is the plenum or the ceiling over the master bath. Floor joist for the second floor, the truss joist. You can see it's wide through open into the great room on the other side. Wide open into the lanai. They did put insulation in the ceiling of the line. I don't know why it's not air sealed and not cut off from the house. They have insulation over the master, which is absolutely unnecessary if it's inside the building envelope, unless it's for soundproofing. But it's all scraps, pieces, nothing really continuous. So get it foamed. This is the attic leading in the master bedroom hallway. Attic from the roof in the front of the house. Open ceiling and floor box all the way across the back of the house or the front of the house. All wide open. Ceiling, a little bit insulation for good measure. Nothing. All wide open. All the way over the master bath. Line sets. Nobody cared. It's all gotta get closed off. This attic is just gonna fill that space with hot, moist air.
So now you're going to show the rest of it.
Well, it's basically what we did to fix it.
Okay.
Where the ductwork comes out from the power
We
back.
started over the garage. So you can see
Work.
we relocated some ductwork so we had more access, pulled
Below the floor
insulation back, spray foamed and laid the bats back.
Okay.
Cell foam closing off that airspace below. Now it's sealed, stopping the flow of warm, moist air into the house. This is the area over the laundry room. Same thing, floor box now closed, floor box above, opening below down to the ceiling. This was back with drywall. This area out there was all wide open. Area is now sealed off.
My big concern is that I probably only got about 95% of it all.
For the shower. The other side of that wall is the great room.
And
This is now closed off. The ends of the trusses that go out into the lanai, outdoor ceiling. No longer any outdoor air.
That outdoor ceiling that was open to the second floor.
That is the attic opening. That now is closed off to there, and they're now going up in the attic to finish the closing of that on. That should stop the air movement throughout the whole house. Gray room ceiling. All that. Truss joists were open out to the lanai ceiling, same as the master bath. All now foamed, closed off, air sealed. Closed off, outside gable, seal wall by the master bath. All this. All the way down around the corner.
whoa, fall
I
down.
almost fell. I almost fell. I kind of re-record without audio, I think.
To the sheathing.
So right here, did you re-insulate? That's to the inside of the house, right?
Well, the other side of that is the inside of the second floor, and it is insulated.
Oh, they insulated on the other side of this.
Yeah, that's the second floor wall, so they put bats on there.
Got it.
I can only do so much damage to this house, and that's why I said I'm actually concerned that I actually only got about 95%. The one thing I probably regret doing is not doing a blower door test prior to, and then one after to see how much we really did. Because right now I have no quantitative results, but I have a ton of photographs and all, and I crawled, and even the foam company I used, they crawled through that attic quite substantially. So there's no way I could get 100%, but I guarantee I got at least 95, 96,
Well, are you passing the code now for your air changes per hour?
Well, they already did a blower door test and it passed 2 years ago. So why the hell should I bother?
Obviously, there's no way, man. It couldn't have.
Yeah, I got the paperwork to prove it.
Oh, come on. There's
Past
no,
installation inspection too.
there's no way. There's no way that would have passed. Okay.
So this was that same area I was falling in,
Right.
but just did a little better job with photography. Well, crawled all the way around that corner, the guys did, and got everything. So it didn't have a continuous thermal or pressure barrier. It passed insulation inspection, its blower door test. Definitely should have never happened.
That's incredible, dude. That you could get
So the
away
real
with
reason
that.
for this video is because it's going on a flash drive with photographs going back to the homeowner with my invoice, and it's being submitted to 2 insurance companies because the builder decided that they've retired.
Really.
Yes. The builder probably made $1 million on that house. Retired and went, see
Bye-bye.
ya.
So his liability insurance will cover it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But they, you know damn well after I do this video and I've got another engineer looking at it, they're going to sue him personally.
Yeah.
You know, they'll figure out a way to get him.
Well, that's got to be if unless that's his first house, it's incompetence, really.
Oh, totally. Going back to the inspections, same inspector on both signers.
Really.
Now, I will not put the name out there yet because I need to meet with the building commissioner here. This house was built kind of during the COVID rush. At that point, the city could not keep up with all the inspections, so they started hiring outside firms.
Okay.
And I don't recognize this inspector's name. My guess is this was one of those schmoes they hired who was getting paid $40 an inspection, and all he did was drive by and approve everything.
Right.
I need to meet with the building commissioner first just to get that out there so that we can determine who's at fault. And I can't just say, oh, the city screwed up because
They may not have.
they may not have exactly.
Although,
Somebody truly did. Great homeowners too. I mean, talk about going through a stressful thing. I mean,
sure,
what are you doing? You got water pouring out of your
ductwork and out of ceilings,
pouring out of your ceilings.
and it's brand new.
Yeah.
And you didn't. It's not like you paid, 50 grand for the house.
Oh,
It's brand new, top dollar house, and you have all that happen.
2 AC systems and they couldn't get the humidity below 70% in the summer.
That's crazy.
Where we did get lucky is that the truss joists and stuff where the ducts made contact, there was some blackening.
Uh-huh.
But I told them we're not going to test and we're not using the M word, right?
Right.
But I go, it doesn't matter even if it was a type of mold because once it dries out, it'll go dormant.
Right.
As long as we've stopped the humidity, kept the temperature and humidity at bay, it'll never bloom. It'll never do anything. You're fine.
Right.
And it's all encapsulated.
Sure. And I did notice on some of the plywood and some of those trusses that there was some darkening of it, shall we say?
Yeah, some discoloration.
Yeah, decoloration. That's a good word for it.
Yeah, but I mean, it would have been far worse if they didn't do anything. They were smart enough to go, hey, whoa, whoa. But they literally pulled down a bathroom ceiling, the powder room ceiling, and they had visqueen up on the bottom of it after the fact.
Yeah.
There were puddles of water in the visqueen. And one of the fix-it companies, fire, water damage, blah, 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 they stuck dehumidifiers in the ceiling. And I went over there and I'm like, okay, I get what you're trying to do, but you have to dehumidify Southwest Florida
Correct.
to fix this attic. I have air leakage coming from somewhere that's massive.
Right.
Massive amounts of air leakage. So anyway.
Well, I don't know. That's the other side of everything that we always talk about. and how to
Yeah.
properly air seal. I mean, this is an excellent example of what happens when you don't do that stuff, when you're not paying attention to what you're doing. And you think, well, we'll throw insulation in, but if it's not air sealed, if it's not insulated properly, you're going to cause more problems, more damage, and not be able to even, like you said, even cool the house down because you couldn't get the humidity below 70%, you said, right?
Right. And thermodynamics, more or less. The
Sure.
more that AC runs and tries to dry that house out, the more it's going to get sucked in from outside. So,
Right. Exactly.
so even the inspector that walked in there should have, why do you have insulation inside the building envelope?
Yeah. Maybe it was just scraps and they didn't want to throw it in the dumpster. The dumpster was full.
What do you think about that job? Any comments? Put them below.
There you go. Yeah, leave us a comment below. We just disassembled a house, a little split level that was built in the late 40s, early 50s. There was some blown in the attic, but the walls, nothing in the walls at all. And the lower attic is open to the upper attic, like what you were showing, but there's also a carport next to it, and that attic is open to the carport too. So anything, there was no air barrier or anything into that space. So the car catches on fire, lights up that roof, it's coming right on through. And it would just go right across the whole attic.
When the fire code changed and we had to do fire stopping every 8 feet, you got 12-foot walls, but I had to put fire blocking every 8 feet.
Sure.
That did more to stop airflow and tighten up houses than most of the energy codes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. And, like when you build a soffit now, you need to drywall the ceiling and then you build your soffit around it. That way you air seal that. And that way.
Fire stopped it.
Yeah, correct. But it's also air sealed.
Exactly. That was the benefit.
Right. Exactly. That's it. So, all right. Like Rich said, leave that comment below. You got any questions? You can leave one down there too. We'll be more than happy to answer it. Make sure you dingle on that bell. And of course, mash that subscribe button. And
Absolutely.
until next time,
Keep it square and level and sealed tight.
There you go. Play the music, Rich.